Hello everyone, welcome to GoTarryn TV. I'm Taryn, the traveling trainer with GoTarryn Personal Training here in the greater Atlanta area, about to welcome back two amazing guests here at today's show. Now, before they arrive, I'd like to ask everyone out there if you'd please be so kind as to like this video, leave us a comment, and share it with all of your friends and family out there. Now, you've seen both of these guests here on GoTarryn TV numerous times, and I'm so lucky to have them back here today at the same time here in our three-way panel discussion to talk about sex and exercise. Do they have a correlation, and if so, what is it? We're going to find out here momentarily as we have, starting with ladies first, Ms. Haley Helveston. She is our residential sacred sexuality coach. And we also have from Fit Peru, the movement specialist, Mr. Freddy G. They're going to be joining us here in just a few seconds, so please make sure to come back and join us for this hot topic discussion. And remember, with GoTarryn Personal Training, it's your time, it's your investment, it's your life. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back everyone, and as I promised, we have two special guests back here on GoTarryn TV, two people who have been on here a lot of times and have also guest spoken at Georgia State University at my class, and two really cool friends. And so ladies first, we'll start with Haley Helveston. She is our sexuality coach. Haley, how are you doing out there today?
Hey, I'm good. Excited to be back.
Yes, great to have you back. And then we also have Freddy G of Fit Peru. He's our movement specialist. Freddy, how are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you. And so, again, I wanted to bring you both on because we've had numerous chats before. This is going to be a great three-way panel. I'm really excited to discuss this because definitely this is a hot topic. Anytime you talk about sexuality and talk about exercise, people are always wanting to be a better you. They always want to improve themselves. You watch TV and commercials, make this bigger, make this longer, make this last longer, and this and that, right? That's how America pretty much is, and consumerism. So that's what we're going to talk about. But I guess I'm going to throw this ball out to both of you. And again, whoever wants to attack it first. But is there a correlation, because that's the heart of the topic, is there a correlation between sex and exercise?
Definitely.
And, okay, so Haley, ladies first again, since you hit it first, expound on that, please.
Well, I'm sure both of you would agree with me, but
yeah, I do. I agree with you.
I don't believe the myth that as I'm getting older, my sex life should also become worse.
Right.
I think if I work out, I stay healthy, I'm eating healthy, I should still be having sex.
What do you think, Freddy?
Yeah, I mean, you're building stamina and you're building more that your hormones are in play when you start moving your body and the way that you are performing better. So, and everything, all the factors are contributing to be more active in many ways. And the sexual part is huge.
Yeah, you know, that's true. And it's funny because Haley, you and I always have this talk and discussion that it's okay to talk about working out, exercise, everyone can talk about that. But when it comes to sex, everybody's real quiet, or they giggle and they smirk. You're not supposed to talk about it, it's taboo. And so my next question to both of you is, we know that most people should exercise, obviously. But, and again, relation to sex, how important is it for sex life or sexual activity? Is that for everyone or not necessarily? Are there some people that are exempt from that shouldn't be focused on it?
Everybody should be doing it. And I hate the should word because I think so many women that, you know, I'm talking to, they think it's an obligation or a chore.
Yeah.
But if you were having the right kind of sex and it's good quality with the person you actually want to be having sex with, you should wanting to be doing it.
Good point. Is it healthy? That's another follow-up question. Do you agree with that, Freddy, in terms of healthiness? Is there such a thing as too much sex, I should say?
Of course, totally. Sex is it should be part of your what can I say? This is like program, but it's not. It's not like you have to force it. It just happened, but you have to be willing to share, you know, because we humans, we are here to reproduce and then die. That's the point. So
yeah.
Sex and then dead.
Mm-hmm.
So it's healthy. You have to practice. Mm-hmm.
Very, very true. Yes, absolutely. Now, and again, we've talked a little bit about this too, Haley, with semen retention. And, there are studies that show about how that can help and improve people's endurance. And Freddie, you mentioned lasting with endurance and helping out in that regard. So next question is, you hear a lot of these, again, I mentioned it at the beginning of the interview, advertisements is like Levitra, Cialis, Viagra. What is your thoughts, both of you? I'd like to see what you think about these supplements or these pills that guys take, mostly, and I say guys because usually they're targeted towards men, right? I mean, I guess maybe there are some for women, but what do you think about that in terms of an artificial kind of help, in performing?
No.
and here's why I asked that, because in working out, some trainers or some guys, some fitness specialists say, hey, take some supplements, take a protein drink, protein powder, or an energy drink, or what have you, right? Or an energy bar, protein bar. But why, again, we talk about, sexuality. Is the natural way better, pretty much, I guess is what I'm asking.
I mean, yes, because here's the thing. I think a lot of guys do it out of, are you already overweight?
Mm-hmm.
Are you already not exercising? Do you already have high stress?
Yeah.
Then you're adding Viagra on top of that? It's just...
Yeah, it's been shown to increase blood pressure, heart rate. I mean, what do you think, Freddie? Do you know anybody who's had to do that? I'm just curious.
And in my case, because I'm a male and I'm already 50, I'm still having that stamina to perform. But I think in certain point you will need it because age-wise, gravity, and you have to be real about it. Mostly males.
Mm-hmm.
So, but if your partner help you out in the way that is natural, just go for it. But extra help it won't hurt, because it's healthy. It's communication and allowing,
Oh yeah. Yeah, good point. But and what do you think about, again, I mentioned this too, America is so fixated on, just commercials. Everything subconsciously has to do with looking better or being more in shape so that way you can get a hotter date or you can be attracted by more men or women or whatever the case. So do you think, my next question, is it too much or is that okay, like in terms of all the ads we're seeing here in America, pretty much, where we live?
Wait, what do you mean? Say the question again.
Like, in your opinion, do you think, and again, I know sales and advertising is important, but as a culture, do you think we go too much in kind of pushing the envelope and kind of, they say sex sales, but do you think that maybe we need to hold back? Because again, 50 years ago, if you looked at the country, there's things on TV and shows and Netflix that wouldn't be allowed. They'd be X-rated if it was 50 years ago. But is that a bad thing? Have our standards gone down or not necessarily?
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Yes, I do think that I actually read a book called The True Reality about Sexuality,
mm-hmm.
and it talks about how, what you just said, they're using that innate desire to market to us.
Interesting.
Like the Hardee's commercial.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Come on. I don't think that's good at all. We can't control those companies, but yeah, I think it is manipulative.
Thoughts, Freddie?
Yeah, I think it's psychological approach to that because the body image in these days, pop culture, if individually you see other creatures because your beauty standards are different,
mm-hmm.
different level. So the attraction is visual mostly for males, but as you said, nowadays all these commercials are getting to that body image and how you look like, your face and your body. It's a lot going on, but I think individually you see a person as a whole, but it's, as I said, it's individual requirements, whatever the attraction comes with.
Interesting. And you both kind of answered this earlier. I had asked, is sex for everybody? Is there anybody that's exempt? But I think I mentioned this, Haley, last time we were talking. I have a client, and you know who he is, Freddy. You've seen him at the gym. Most of my clients are older at the Family Life Center gym. He's in his 80s, and he told me that he and his wife, they're down to only having sex 3 times a week. And I told him, I was like, I think that's pretty good, actually. And he said he wants to improve it and increase it to 6 days a week like he used to do, and lasting more, like closer to an hour, versus now he's down to 30 minutes. I said, I don't think that's... I think you're doing okay. I told him, I was like, keep it up, but he wants to, so my question to you, Freddie, as a fellow fitness professional, do you run into that too with your, like, any clients or participants that are taking classes? Do they ever bring up the fact, because they're pretty personal with us, they open up and they'll tell us, but what's your thoughts in that regard? I mean, just out of curiosity, do you see that that's a problem, or do they don't say anything, they kind of aren't that open?
I mean, with me, I'm holding the space, safe space, so they trust me. Yeah. So it's okay to tell and let it out. Yeah. So some of them, of course, they expand their horizons and they just tell. Sometimes they just tell a lot. Yeah. And I just listen. And I think for 80 years old, 3 times a week is really good. I thought
so too. Yeah, and you did too, Haley, right? Didn't we agree?
I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
More than most people my age are having sex.
Right. But I think women, as they're prone to receive.
Oh, they
need really to work too much in the building the stamina.
Oh.
I think so. Because I was holding these spaces for gay males because I'm a gay man, and we interact a lot, and then we're discussing. It's not all about penetration,
right?
It's more that the preparation before role play and adding some sauce in between. Before to get into that, So it's all about touching. Touching is healing, smelling, using your senses before to get into the actual action, But this is it's a little, other topic maybe. But as you said, I think it's really healthy to have that connection with that person. Really, really important.
I like what you said about the safe space too, Freddie. That is important. Haley, what Freddie said too about how important is foreplay? Is that something that you find that, in your work that is missing, or some women ask that is needed, or what's your thoughts in regards to that?
Well, the thing is like, due to porn, like a lot of men don't think that's necessary. Mm-hmm. And a lot of women are telling me, okay, here's the thing. I hate how it's called foreplay because really all of it's sex. And all of it is involving some sort of sexual act. Mm-hmm. And so I always tell women, like, you need to really communicate, like, hey, this is vital for me. We need to do more of this before we move on. Mm-hmm. I think it's very important for women. It's essential. So.
No, that's great, though. I think it's communication. Because if you know already what you like and you explore enough your body and you from your brain all material, and you sharing with whoever you want to share, that communication I think is on point. Otherwise, you will enjoy it or just move on. But I think
yes, you're right. One of the things is a lot of women tell me that they're very afraid of, oh, I don't want to hurt his feelings, or oh, he gets mad at me if I say this, so they don't say anything.
Oh, and it's funny because I think last time, Haley, you and I had agreed that most women probably kind of merge love and sex. That goes along with that communication together. But whereas I think men, and again, and I don't know what studies would show, but are easier to compartmentalize it, whether we're straight or gay. Freddie, do you see that to men, for the most part, sex is just sex, and whatever, it's exclusive to love, or do you think that that's not necessarily true? Do you think that maybe men can be as emotional as women?
Of course, we are humans, so we explore the carnal part and the spiritual part. But you can separate it, because some creatures look for the quick fix, and some of them are more prone to prolongate that encounter. So it's all about just consent and talk and communication and be honest about it, So it's not just penetration, as I said before, but you have all these parts, your ears, your neck, and your anus. Your anus, but nobody talks about it because it's so important to explore really everywhere. That's my
Very, very interesting. And I like, the word communication. Haley, I'm sure that comes up a lot in your coaching too. Communication and honesty and trust.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, the thing is it goes back to what you were saying. Like, I do think that that's stereotypical of men to be less emotional. But I think now, the older I get and the more I'm doing this work, I think men are way more sensitive and more emotional than women. They're just not able to show it.
Oh, interesting.
When you're saying about communication, it's really vital and really important. And and all these things we're discussing weren't really taught to us. We have to figure it out, right?
Yeah.
But the animalistic part is coming out too,
Oh, yeah.
Instinct. As a male, I think we are here to procreate. We are the stats to just having many women or many places to go and just having sex and getting kids everywhere, which is the instinct part. But that's the part that we have to kind of understand without leave it out, like just comprehend that as a male, as a human, we made to mate.
Yeah, and again, I think I mentioned this too, we're seeing that, again, with sex sales, we see a lot more advertisements for, just these dating sites and, the one-on-one matchmaking. What's that other one, Tinder? I think that's another popular one. And, Freddie, what's your take on all those do you find that, they use a lot of those types of sites and Craigslist and everything? Because that used to be pretty popular. I don't know if that still is now. Do you see that a lot of people still kind of meet up? And,
media is huge. So yeah, I use some of them. It's successful. Depends what you want, but I think it's individual action that you have to take when you meet somebody strange, and then you either build that relationship or you just go for it. It's like two different scenery, you meet these people just for the real quick fix or just for a longer build. So I don't know, it's just work for everybody, heterosexual, homosexual, pansexual, I don't know.
Yeah, Haley, looking at you, you look like you're thinking. What were thoughts there on the tail end of what Freddie was just saying?
I'm sorry, my sister said something to me. What were you saying?
Oh, no, okay. So, we were talking about, like Freddie just said, heterosexual, homosexual, pansexual. Is that something that comes up a lot, too, with your clients?
Not really. I mean, listen, I'm mainly working with heterosexual couples or singles.
Oh, okay.
I do think that... I think people now are more open now about experimenting sexually and being with, different genders. But then I also think some of that goes a little too far,
Like, what's an...
What is too far?
like not naming what your gender is.
Oh, yeah. Well, sometimes we just go by the feeling, blocking the gender part, because if you meet somebody in the feeling, when you start getting feelings, you don't really care about what is below the waist. It's more mental, and you might be falling in love with trans man or trans woman. You don't never know. I think there's just a huge spectrum out there. Like, if you're falling in love with somebody, I think the gender part is just, for me, also on the side.
Well, it's interesting because what you both had me just thinking about, like, as a personal trainer, I'm guilty of this myself. Whenever I have a new male client, I don't even, before we get into the workout, I assume already, I'm prejudiced. I say, okay, we're going to do heavy weights. We're going to do bulking up and slow eccentric negatives. If I have a new female client, I'll think the opposite. I say, we're going to do toning, 15 to 20 reps, lighter weight, because we want to lose, body fat and lean up. But I've been caught a couple times just dead wrong, a couple on those. One time, and I'll give you two examples. I have a male client who wanted to do the reverse. He wanted to get real super skinny, and he was already very thin, but he was anorexic, I found out. And then the female client, she wanted to bulk up and get muscular and wanted to have more masculinity. Again, and I'll be, that goes against the general stereotype, I guess you could say, like generalizing. So as a personal trainer, I have to be careful. I can't be too generalized with just throwing a cookie cutter out there and saying, okay, men here, women here, this is your workout. That's why I guess that's right, Freddy. Personal training means each individual with their individual program, correct?
Well, you're training depending of the needs.
Yes, so, and right, Haley, doesn't that go hand in hand too with each client with yours? I'm thinking they would have an individual need, like Freddy just said, like opposite need, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Specific. Right.
Specific. And that's when,
especially what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, certainly. But Freddy, yeah, I mean, like with your clients, because you do both. You do personal training one-on-one, but you also do group training, which I could never do. So what's the difference on that, or do you find one more challenging than the other, or are they pretty much both enjoyable, like you like doing, both of them just equally?
It's for everybody, but individual, personal is personal. Like you have to keep your eye on somebody strictly focused. But group, I think group is fun, and it's more like interaction. The sexual part comes in it like without thinking, because you integrate people and they start touching, and get that feeling of counterbalance, and there's more community. So, and I really have this example, like years ago, I have this couple. They just met in my class in the group exercise, and we were playing. You saw me.
Oh yeah.
Like high fives, like a counterbalance, and really touchy. And they start dating because they still coming to the class.
Cool.
And they just feeling each other because of the class is more integrated. So I didn't know that they were hitting each other until a month later. They got talking, they were going out on a date. So that was awesome.
Wow.
I didn't expect it, but, it depends how you approach to people in group exercise mostly.
Yeah. Oh, wow, that's really neat. And, Haley, just like Freddy, because I think, Freddy, most of your clients are female. Do I have that correct? I mean, generally, like when you're doing the classes usually, right? And Haley,
yeah.
Same question to you, Haley. Don't you work mostly with females as well?
Mostly with women, but I do have some couples.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I was thinking about you guys, Freddy and Haley, both could work together, because I think there's like a resource and network both ways. You could send them to Freddy's classes and personal training, vice versa, Freddy, if there's anyone that's looking for, any kind of matchmaking or any kind of women. Because Haley does these women programs too. and the talks and all that. So that'll really help out a lot. I mean, that's really good. What about Haley? I just asked Freddy about individual personal training, group training. Do you and you mentioned couples, but my question is on like with any kind of when you have people coming in for relationship advice. Have you ever run into any of the clients who are into the group sex, like they're talking about they want to do the, what is it called, swinging or orgies?
Like open relationship or something?
Right, exactly, yes.
I have never actually worked with anybody that wants to do that, but I have had people ask me questions about it.
Yes.
My thing is always like, why do you want to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that trying to solve a problem that you already have?
Yeah, is that a sexual need, do you think, or is that an emotional need, or could that be a combination? What's the thoughts on that?
Probably a combination.
Yeah, have you seen that, Freddy? Like in terms of, I guess, because it seems like it's in vogue. Like it's been popular on TV, movies. You hear about it a lot, but then some people feel like they're jaded because they don't think that they've heard of that or seen that.
I think mostly they're following trends.
Yeah, trends. That's the word I was like. Thank you. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's very like you have a problem on your relationship and you have to. Well, it is part of it. You have. If you don't find that need on your relationship, you might go outside of it and try to find it somewhere else.
Yes.
But that's a communication thing. That's the honesty part. So you have to work on that first, and then, okay, so you have to let them know, I need to have some kind of contact with other people. If there's agreement, go for you. If not, you have to kind of, Haley, you kind of be in between, judging and try to pull everybody in.
Mm-hmm. Well, I also think the emotional thing is so important too, because we live in a society that's very individualistic. But we're also still, we're still tribe people. We still have to have a community and a group of people that care about us.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why the loneliness epidemic is so big now.
But Haley, I have a question. Is this, you find this as a guiltiness of, if you're not happy, you blame it on your partner, and then the responsibility that you have to have the responsibility to make him happy. What is the issue there?
Yeah, I mean, it all goes back to a lot of women that I run into that have the illusion of, growing up in the South. They think that their life is going to be this perfect fairy tale as soon as they got married. And so it's like, it's so important to constantly keep doing your own work on yourself, because then it is what you just said. Then you'll constantly be blaming all of your issues on your partner. Because you haven't done any of the inner work, so you're just reflecting back things you need to do.
I see, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, this is good. Excellent. Well, let's see here. So I promised both of you that I wasn't going to go over time. I can't believe we've already 30 minutes has flown by so quickly here. But I wanted to sneak in just a couple more minutes if you could. Just bear with me, please. Wanted to get your contact information, and because this has been a very stimulating topic, and we need to do this again. And again, I think definitely you both need to exchange each other's information and connect too. So let's get that from both of you. Again, please, ladies first. Haley, if we can get your contact information from you first.
Okay, they can find me on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. I'm on all social media. It's just Haley.Helveston.
All right. And then, Freddy, how can people find out about Fit Peru?
Yeah, same. Mostly Instagram and social media. I'm not much on Facebook, but my website is fitperu.net.
Gotcha. Easy enough. Well, this flew again. I can't believe how fast this went by. It always goes by so quickly with both of you, and hopefully it doesn't go by quickly for everybody when they're in bed, right? So, isn't that what they say at the end of a fortune cookie, right? You read a fortune cookie and then you add in bed at the end.
Yeah.
So that's yes. So a very appropriate ending here. But again, I think that was wonderful. This was an excellent. Very, very interesting interview. I want to thank both of you on this. And again, so we have determined, I guess, as the conclusion is, I think all three of us can agree that exercise, sex, just as important, right? Both hand in hand, pretty much. And one more time, who should be doing both of them?
Everybody.
Yeah. Very good. Excellent. All right. So between the three of us, we're going to get people in Atlanta to exercise more and to do it more, right?
Yes.
We can do
better
it.
quality sex.
Love it. Very good. Excellent. Well, Haley, Freddie, thank you so much for your time. I'm going to fade us to black, get us out of here, and put your contact info up right now. We'll see y'all.
Adios.
Bye.